We're stepped out upon the world stage now, with the fate of human dignity in our hands. Blood's been spilt to afford us this moment. Now! Now!
Lincoln was a very complex man, but he followed simple ideals.
But he had to really wheel and deal, and he had his moments of hypocrisy, and he had his moments of being a politician.
What do you think the lessons are that we can take from this movie, because it was so rich?
One thing I take from watching this movie is that things do change. This movie I found pretty, affirming in that way, because he was able to take some baby steps forward, and even though he wasn't able to push things as far forward as he wanted, eventually more baby steps did happen, and you know what? Things have changed.
No one has ever lived who knows better than you the proper placement of footfalls on treacherous paths. Seward can't do it. You must. Because if you fail to acquire the necessary votes, woe unto you, sir, you will answer to me.
I was a little sheepish that I had never thought of what Mary Todd Lincoln went through in our nation's history.
She is one of the most under-examined, misunderstood, maligned, very maligned, and unbelievably important women characters in history, in American history, certainly. Had there not been a Mary Todd, there would not have been an Abraham Lincoln. She was his closest advisor, always, closest confidant.
And so Mary Todd Lincoln should maybe be on the other side of the penny.
It's good to finally have a film that sort of takes a look at how important she really was at this very important time in history, behind this very, very important man.
President's never to be mentioned, nor I. You're paid for your discretion.
Well, you can have that for nothing. What we need money for is bribes. Speed things up.
No, nothing strictly illegal.
It's not illegal to bribe congressmen. They starve otherwise.
Did you use any of your own possible, James Spader's powers of persuasion to kind of translate into this character who had a really tough job in front of him in doing this lobbying to get the 13th Amendment passed?
Well, my feeling is if you want someone to do something if you're trying to prevail upon somebody, then it's best to be doing it while you're having a good time, which seemed to fit Bilbo's personality as well.
Do you do that in your life?
When I'm able.
That's the ideal, right?
Yes.
How do you prepare for a role like that where very little information exists about a character?
Well, there was the information in the screenplay, and that for me, that's the text of what then hopefully gets into your head.
Sure.
And that was incredibly rich in this case.
I think that your performance is going to forever shape this man.
Which is probably a terrible thing for his relatives or descendants, because I'm sure I'm off entirely. But I couldn't resist.
Good.
From the film, I think you take away from it this feeling of pride that we come from this place, this amazing idea that is democracy and that is this United States.
Shall we stop this bleeding?